All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful, absolutely beautiful Friday morning. May God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua the Messiah. Even if you are not religious, I pray you and your family are super blessed as the Bitcoin price has finally taken out the low here. Right over here. Let's put on our strong magnet. We have finally taken out this low, guys. It's been a long time coming. It's been a slow, painful grind to the downside. But today marks what is, in my opinion, a big shift in the Bitcoin price action. Because today, Jerome Powell is going to be speaking. That's right. Jerome Powell is going to be speaking today, in approximately 45 minutes, half an hour after New York opens. We're going to be watching it live, hopefully. And we're going to see what he talks about here. He's going to be talking about inflation. He's going to be talking about the economy. And if he is dovish, looking like he's going to cut interest rates, that is going to be bullish, in my opinion, for the next 2 weeks. We can see a 2-week pump, actually a 3-week pump, leading up to September 17th, where the actual FOMC rate decision will be made at approximately 2 p.m. Eastern time. Now, this is crucial because this is all happening during the last few months of a bull run. Now, right now, 71%. Let's refresh this. See if this is up to date. Right now, 69%. This was like 98%. But as time goes on, people are saying less and less that there's going to be a rate cut. So today, this is really going to clear up a lot of the muddy waters as to whether or not the rate cut is actually going to be a thing. And if we take a look here at the chart, we can see something very important. I actually did sit down with Jerome Powell for a Zoom call earlier this morning. I said, Jerome, you know, are you going to be dovish or are you going to be hawkish? He said, Jay, I'm going to text you a picture. All right? And you just look at the picture. I'm not even going to say anything, Jay. I said, you're going to text me a picture? Do you have my number? He's like, of course, Jay. Look, we go way back. Remember we were in high school together? He gave me that smile, you know? Those eyes. It's like a comforting grandfather. Don't worry, Jay. Everything's going to be all right. Yeah, inflation's low. It's low, Jay. I know you're paying triple the cost for meat and other things, but trust me, Jason. And I looked in those trusting grandfather eyes, and I looked at that beautiful smile, and I thought, Jerome, I trust you. Send me the picture. Say no more, Jerome. Send me the picture. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And he sent me this. He sent me this, guys. He didn't need to say anything. Giant pair of scissors, interest rates, cut, pumping the dang Bitcoin price to a new all-time high, baby. That's what he sent me. It felt good. It felt real good. You could see by the look on my face that it felt pretty good. You know? Now back to the Bitcoin chart. Here's the thing. Make sure to smash up the likes. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to click the bell for notifications. I honestly, guys, I don't think the low is in. In fact, I think when Jerome Powell speaks today, we might get a flash crash, which could lead to a big pump. The reason why I don't think the low is in is because I know we've taken this low, but the divergences look pretty weak, man. We go to the 24-minute time frame, and we don't really have the divergence. The money flow looks good, but the divergence isn't really there. And also, we've had divergences this whole way down, and so far, guys, we're literally just rejecting from the daily VWAP. So if we could have held above the VWAP, this could have been something. But so far, it's looking pretty dang weak, man. All right, it is looking pretty dang weak. So it kind of is what it is on that one. Now, to be honest with you, it did make for a good scalp trade. All right, in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, we took that little trade, locked in and take profit 1. All right, I let the community know that I had taken the trade over here because we got the bounce from, actually, believe it or not, we filled a single print literally to the dollar. So it's like Super low risk because, you know, if we come below this single print, you get out right away. Once we reclaim the low at 111842 and 10 cents, we got a little bit more upside. You know, I was looking at this as a scalp, right? Treating this as a scalp trade, planted TP1 at the first place, it makes sense, and then above TP1, above the VWAP, that's where it makes sense to take a one profit. Take a profete numero uno, as we say in Espanol in Italia. Take a profete numero uno in Espanol, as we say in Italia. Okay? Man, what a strange accent that Jason Casper has from his country back home, yes. So, what happens next? Well, before we talk about what happens next, we got to give a major shout out, first of all, to KCEX. Guys, KCEX is going to be giving away $2,000, and we're going to be giving away some of that money today. All right, so if you're not signed up to KCEX, go sign up to KCEX, and then with your user ID, all right, that's how you're actually going to be able to. That's how you're actually going to be able to win the prize, all right, with your user ID. So, even you don't have to deposit anything. Sign up for KCEX, lowest fees in the game. Also, we got to give a major shout out to BLOFIN, WEEX, ANTARCTIC Exchange, and of course, guys, Klein funding. If you know how to trade but you don't have capital, this is a crypto prop firm that runs on Bybit. They're on the up and up, and they have a 15 and 25% discount for this crypto prop firm. Also, if you want to join the Casper Crew Discord, where we get the trade setups in advance, and we let you know when we're taking them, like this one that we took literally from the first time we hit $112,000, or like this one that we took, set up given in advance, or like this one that we took, set up given in advance, let everyone know when I was long, or like this one that we took, set up given in advance, let everyone know when I was long, or like this one where I let everyone know when I entered the trade by posting my entry with the setup that was given in advance. Let people know when I'm taking profits, adding to the position, and all that stuff to lock in the juicy profits over on KCEX. You can go to jasoncaspertrading.com. Or when I let everybody know I was short last week, and now we're still holding that juicy short, jasoncaspertrading.com. In fact, let's check on that short real quick. Did I hit a take profit on it? Nah. I didn't hit a take profit on it, but I feel like we will. I feel like we're going to come a little bit lower, man. What would you do? Let me know in the chat. What would you do? You're up 13 grand. 5 grand locked in. In total, that's like $18,000. What would you do? Would you take it and run? 18 grand? That's a lot of money, man. You know? That's a lot of money. Should I take it and run? Are we going to bounce from here? Let me know. I can't take it anymore. All right. Wow, look, Bitcoin getting a little bit of a move here. New York's going to open in 10 minutes, guys. We're going to be watching this every single step of the way. All right. Make sure to shout out to Splashfire Films. He says, take a little P. T a little P, baby. Take a partial profit. Okay. Yeah, I should take a partial profit here. You're right, guys. I should take a partial profit here. But wouldn't it be way more epic? Wouldn't it be way more epic, guys, if we dump live and hit the take profit? See, there's another aspect of trading psychology that happens when you are in positions live, you know? This is the most disgusting price action I've seen. Yeah, this has been really gross, ugly price action for sure. I mean, look at the 1 minute chart right now. What in the world is this thing here? I was looking at this morning. What the heck? Have you ever seen something like this before? We are about to get some kind of crazy move. What is this? It's like the Cheshire Cat pattern here. What the heck? I've never seen anything like that before. You know what I mean? Oh man. Oh man. All right, so let's see actually what's happening here. We're making lower lows and lower highs. Rejecting from the Wapinator, the old VWAP. Major shout out to Sniper Gargan. Yeah. GenX Crypto, the high fee exchanges survived. That is true. Shout out to Dom Weiss. He says, where likes. Shout out to Cicito. He says, DAMN. No, not A-sex. K-sex. All right, K-sex. Guys, if everyone likes the video, in the next 10 minutes, we're actually going to give away $1,000. We're already going to be giving away $1,000 today via KCEX money. All right, shout out to PMG George Lifer. He says, Yeshua Akbar. Amen, amen. Yeshua is greater. Amen. Shout out to Edgem Vibes. He has, you have bad mic, fix please. Can't. All right. Can't do it. All right. Shout out to DGen Cypher. He says, thanks, Jay. Got myself a Casper Crew t-shirt. I need to get myself a new one. Mine totally got, like, demolished. Major shout out to Memory Man. He says, TP. We'll see what happens here. I might T some P. But let's see what happens. If we happen to reclaim the VWAP here, then maybe I will actually T some P on that. But if we can't reclaim VWAP, I'm going to hodl this a little bit more. We got 7 minutes until New York opens. Let it ride until 110 at least. Yeah, at least. That's what I'm thinking. Major shout out to T, who says smash the likes, guys. Did I short? I took a short on August 14th. All right. After giving a long setup live in the VIP live stream in real time. All right. I took a short. Okay. I've already taken profit. Most of the long taken live on stream. It's an insurance short in case of a huge dump. Well, guess what? We got that huge dump. So yes, I'm short, guys. I'm short. I'm short right now. My entry is from around 116.8. Look, I missed the top here. I missed the top, sadly. I was asleep. That's one of the things that kind of sucks about trading in, I guess, wherever your time zone is. You always feel like your bedtime is where all the good moves happen. But definitely that big drop that we started to get from the all-time high happened when I was asleep. So we're going to discuss, New York's going to open. I'm going to talk about a few different scenarios I'm personally looking to trade here. And I am not bearish, although I am looking for a drop. And the reason why I'm not bearish is because as we come down to these areas, we are indeed seeing bullishness here on the oscillator. Money flow getting thicker. Momentum getting higher as the price now is officially printing bullish divergence. We officially now have bullish div on the daily time frame. We have bullish div on the 8-hour time frame here. Multiple drive. All right, money flow getting thicker. This drop, the fact that we have made a low below 111842, in my opinion, the way this thing looks now, the way we could take the money flow and go like this, that is bullish, man. I'm sorry. All right, you look at the 6-hour time frame right now. We got ourselves multiple drive of bull div, money flow getting higher. We got bull divs on the daily, on the 8-hour, on the 6-hour. Then as we come down to the 1 hour, what have we been doing this whole way down, guys? This whole way down, we've been getting bullish divergences. All right. Now, you guys are familiar with the uneven butt cheek pattern. All right. Colloquially known as a bullish divergence, where you have that big left butt cheek and that skinny right butt cheek. All right. This is known as a bullish divergence. The bullish divergence, which we had very clearly as we came down to the low right here. Right. Look at this. Left cheek, right cheek. All right. Go to the 24-minute time frame. What do we have? Let's see. Let's take a look. Look at this. Big old left cheek, right cheek, money flow getting higher. This whole way down so far, we have had this uneven butt cheek pattern forming, except there's something you probably notice about it. There are not just two butt cheeks here, but we have 1, 2, 3, so far 4. This is actually known as a polycheecular formation, All right, comes from the Greek word, I don't know, poly. Is poly a Greek word? And then cheecular. It comes from the Latin butt cheek, right? The Latin butt cheekus. Butt cheekus, a polycheekulous formation. You have multiple butt cheeks forming here. All right. Also, what do we notice this whole way down about the money flow? It's getting higher. So when cheeks fail, All right, I'm gonna write a 2004-esque metalcore song called "When Cheeks Fail." All right, very similar to the style of the Killswitch Engage song "When Darkness Falls." When cheeks fail, all right. When you are printing bullish divergences this whole way down and they fail to give you a big move, in my experience, what this means is we're gonna get a big move to the downside. It's gonna happen fast. It's gonna flush. It's gonna wreck. It's gonna destroy. It's gonna liquidate. And then we're gonna get a bounce. Now remember what has happened this entire time here. Let's just zoom out. When in doubt, zoom it out, baby. We are printing. We have printed, in my opinion, and continue to print just bullish signals as we make higher highs and higher lows within this uptrend. And we have broken out and we have held above this previous range high now for quite some time. All right, it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's been 7 weeks. We're going on 2 months of actually holding above this level. Okay, when you break out of 8-month resistance and you hold above, that's not bearish, that's bullish. The only way this chart would get bearish on a high term time frame is if we're actually now trading below this box here. All right, that would open up the door for a move down to $90,000. If we can't hold that, could open up a move down to the low 70s. All right, now as soon as I say that, people are going to dislike the video, right? But that's just the reality of the charts, guys. The probabilities would be highest if we're actually trading back down below like $105,000, that these weekly bear divs, these weekly money flow divs are going to give us more follow through. We don't want that. I don't want that. That's why I'm bullish here, because I'm seeing bullish signs as we're getting the breakout and the back test. All right, the breakout and the back test. That's what we're getting now. This very well could be, guys, the last opportunity for a swing trade on Bitcoin before the bear market. If you believe there's going to be a bear market. I know there's a lot of views out there. Some people say, Jay, there's never going to be a bear market again. Now that we have BlackRock, now that the government has Bitcoin, now that there's more centralized control over the Bitcoin price, there's no way that the elites would manipulate the price to the downside so they could buy more cheap. They would never manipulate the markets to make things go down so they could buy cheap after encouraging everybody to buy at high prices. They would never do that, Jason. Now that BlackRock's here, BlackRock is here to save us all from the bear market. Okay, if that's your view, cool, man. I hope you get your voice fixed or whatever. But for me, until there's actually a 4-year halving cycle where there's no bear market, I'm going to expect that's going to be the same as it's been since the beginning of Bitcoin. All right? Could there be a change? Yeah. There could be a change. Then I'll come on here and I'll admit I was wrong. I'll say, guys, I was wrong. Okay? But until that happens, then if we talk like this, we say, no, it's going to happen like it happened the last time. Trust me, back in my country, it happens this way every single time. And we got to give a major shout out to the super chat. He says, what do you use to trade Exodus to sell USD and WEEX? I'm not sure what you mean, but thank you so much for the super chat. YOLO, solo 23. I appreciate you, man. Looks like Bitcoin has New York opened yet? Yeah, New York has just opened, guys. All right, New York has just opened. Let's zoom into the 6-minute chart. All right, look at this. Money flow looking weak, man. We got half an hour until JP comes out. And remember, I already spoke to him. We had a Zoom call. I said, JP, what are you going to do? Bearish, bullish, dovish, hawkish? He said, Jason, I'm not even going to speak to you, son. He calls me son. Look at those loving grandfather eyes. Jay, I'm not even going to speak to you, okay? I'm going to send you a text since we are friends and we text all the time. And I'm going to send you a picture. No words need to be spoken. And this is what he sent me. Interest rates, cut, baby. Bitcoin, pumping, baby. So look, I've got a little inside info here, all right? Because me and JP, we're like tight. We're tight. Look at that. You can tell we have a tight relationship. I don't even wear my hair up when I'm around JP. I let it all down. I let it all down, baby. Me and JP, we got that special kind of friendship. You know, I confide in him. JP, what's it gonna be? He said, Jay, look, I don't even have to say the word, baby. Now look, let's be real here. Let's be real. I'll tell you how I lean. Here's how I lean. As New York is officially open for business, let's check out the order flow here. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Oh my. Oh. Come on, come on. Man. Oh. 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 You've heard of road rage, guys. This is trading rage. Trading rage. Happens when your charts don't load. Okay, let's check out the order flow. Okay, so look at this, man. Wow. Wow, look at this. This is so funny. Lots of shorts opening up at the low. Oh my goodness, guys. We had a lot of shorts opening up here at the low. Approximately 136 million shorts opening up at the exact bottom. Okay. Wow. And then we have since then squeezed the shorts. They're out now. And we've had a decrease of open interest. So basically, this is just, I don't know, man. People shorting the bottom, getting wrecked, rejecting from VWAP. We don't have any kind of bullish CVD divergences here. What's up, Big Butts 28? Guys, I'm so disgusting and gross right now. Having worn this shirt for like 4 days without washing it, sweating all day, that Big Butts 28 can smell me from the homeschool room, which is across the house. So she came in to open the window because I smell so bad. Thank you, Big Butts 28. I appreciate that. Man, should I take a shower today? What? If I want? If I want love. She says if I want love, I better take a shower today. Keep that in mind. All right. Well, here we go. So yeah, we're holding that low. New York's open for business, and everyone's waiting for the big news, which is Jerome Powell coming out. You know, Jerome Powell coming out. Yeah, isn't that crazy? 136 million $1 shorts. Yes, Warren G. We had 136 million people all entering $1 into the market. Man, I better take a shower tonight, guys. I'll be honest with you. Maybe I'll even use some soap. Honestly, it's rare that I use soap, but look, it's been 3 weeks of constant stress trading with these charts, man. Coffee, the coffee sweats. You know what I mean? The coffee sweats. Shower your toes and hands. That's it. Yeah, for sure, man. Showers are for scrubs. Real men don't take showers. Okay, I'll have to take the advice. Thank you guys for the relationship advice here. Okay, we're getting a little bit of a move to the downside on our 3-minute time frame. Money flow's looking weak. Looks like we're gonna take the low again, guys. All right, looks like we're gonna take a dump again. All right, so let's see what happens. We take another dump. Let's see if we can hit that TP on the short. You know, market makers, they're probably not going to let me hit the TP on the short. You know how market makers are. You know how those market makers are, guys. Am I Amish? I'm not, but my dad always says I smell Amish. I'm not Amish, but my dad always says I smell Amish. Dr. Bronner soap, that's what we have in the house. Smooth Operator, he says relationship with charts is most important. Now, you could tell Smooth Operator knows what's really important in life, okay? Look, he's buff, he's jacked, and he says charts are more important than family. So clearly, the only two things in life that matter is working out and trading, all right? Everything else don't matter. Hygiene, don't matter, okay? Brushing your teeth, don't matter. Who needs teeth when you have trading? You know what I mean? All right, looks like we're gonna take a little bit of a dump here. Shout out to Sergeant Squid, long 111.5. Honestly, the next level I have on my chart is 111.2. Then I have 110.4. Then I have 109.844. Then I have 109. around 109 on the dot. And then the low 108s. So we'll see. I would not be surprised, guys, if we get some serious dumpage today. All right. I would not be surprised if we get some serious numbers today. We have a pump over the weekend, and then we actually see a move back toward the top of the range leading into September 17th when Jerome Powell is going to speak. And right now, guys, the market is, we are really wondering what the heck is going to happen here. All right. We are wondering what in the world is going to happen. Let's pop on over to Forex Factory real quick here. All right, yeah, so we've got about 22 minutes until JP speaks. Everyone's on the edge of their seat. We got to give a major shout out to Sergeant Squid. You got wrecked on WEEX. You don't have good discipline. You're just gonna hodl. Look, if you want to learn how to trade, guys, check out the free course on the Jason Casper YouTube channel. All right, check out the free course on the Jason Casper YouTube channel. All right, it's totally free. And this will, if you actually take the information and apply it, I'm telling you, this is the secret sauce right here. This is the secret sauce. I'm not even joking. This is the secret sauce. All right, you put this sauce on your trading, at the very least, you're not going to blow your account. All right? At the very least, you apply this information, you're not going to be losing money, right? You're not going to have those hard talks with your wife. Trust me, I've had them. All right? Remember that money? You didn't really care about it, right? You did care about it, right? All right. Okay, you're not gonna have that talk. All right. Not with your wife. All right. Honestly, man, you take this trading course, you're gonna be feeling like that time me and Carl from the Moon drove to McDonald's to get a Big Mac meal in his Maserati. All right. Just the euphoria is gonna be pure. You're going to feel like that time I was screaming into a plunger in front of tens of thousands of people on the internet trading Bitcoin. All right? You're definitely not going to be feeling like this guy, strung out on coffee. All right? Has no energy. You're definitely not going to be feeling like this guy, sock on the head, bathroom floor, lost it all, doesn't know what to say, going a little crazy. All right? The difference between this and this is this. All right? The difference between this and this is this. Very simple. All right? Very simple. All right. Bitcoin struggling, man. We're getting a little bit of a bounce from the value area low of the range. Let's check it out. New York has been open for 10 minutes. All right. We're going to pump or we're going to dump?
We're going to dump. We're going to pump. No, we're going to dump. We're going to pump. No, we're going to dump. We're going to pump.
All right, man. You guys heard it from the man himself. We're pumping, baby. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here. We're gonna pull our range. Oh wow, this must not be the value area low I was thinking. Oh, we're getting another bounce, I guess, from that previous low. Okay, so we're back testing that previous low. We're getting a little bit of a bounce here. All right, we're getting a little bit of a bounce here. Let's pull this. I had pulled a fixed range volume profile from somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Look at this. We're back testing that previous low at 111.842 and 10. It's also the value area low of the range. This could be it, guys. Let's see what happens, man. Do we pump into Jerome Powell's speech? If we're going to pump into Jerome Powell's speech, it's going to be from here. Come on, baby. Come on. All right, let's see what happens. ETH is pumping. ETH is pumping right now. Let's see, man. Okay, let's check out Ethereum. Now, remember, yesterday we were looking at ETH saying, whoa, look at ETH. Oh my goodness. Yesterday we were looking at ETH saying the daily time frame looks insanely bullish. Look at the money flow on the daily, guys. This next trigger wave, this is why I'm getting so bullish as we're coming down to this very important support resistance flip here. All right. This is basically the two things I'm looking at right now on ETH for Ethereum. Either we reclaim the key 4370 in a back test and we could ride that up, or we get another lower low, preferably like today, tomorrow, or whatever, and bottom out at around the back test of $4,000. But ETH is pumping right now. Let's check out the 1 hour time frame. Look at this 1 hour candle on ETH, man. This is insane. This is insane. Shout out to Annie Booster. Greetings from Indonesia. Greetings to you. God bless you in Jesus' name. Who cut the cheese on Fartcoin? Man, it's a fake out perhaps. Everybody expects a dump, so it will pump. Let's see what happens, man. I'm so excited for in 15 minutes plus 2, plus 3 for what happens. Like, I'm not even kidding, guys. I was dreaming about this last night. I was literally dreaming about doing this stream last night. I could not wait. I could not wait. All right, let's check out the order flow. What's happening over here? We got to refresh this over here. All right, let's see here. Man, you guys hear this bass line right now? It's groovy. Man, I'm feeling that bass line. That is one melanated bass line, man. Huh. Man, I'm really feeling it. Let's see if we can reclaim the VWAP. We got longs coming in, baby. Longs coming in. Let's check out SPX, man. Look at. Wow. Look at the S&P 500, man. Look at the S&P 500. Guys, I am very excited to see what's going to happen when Jerome Powell comes out. All right? And as I already told you, man, he texted me. We had this Zoom call. He didn't want to say what he was thinking over Zoom because he didn't want me to show the clip, but he sent me this picture. All right? So I feel like he's going to be feeling a little bit dovish. All right. If he's dovish, man, I'm feeling like we will pump into September 17th. I feel like it'll be a buy the rumor, sell the news event. I feel like Bitcoin could pump. We can make new all-time highs in the next 3 weeks. And then we could actually see a real high for Bitcoin. All right. A real high towards 130K. All right. This box here, this box is the next big, in my opinion, swing trade potential. All right. The next big swing trade potential. If you know, maybe this is it. I doubt the bottom's in, guys. I feel like the wick needs to be more catastrophic. We need a catastrophic wick. All right. We need a catastrophic wick, not something like this little one here. All right. We need something catastrophic, something mind-blowing, ground-shaking. Like, here, I'll tell you what we need. We need something like this, man. We need something like this. You guys remember back in the day? When did we come down to $90,000 Bitcoin? I forget the wick I'm thinking of, but there was a wick. Maybe it was this wick here down in 114. We need something that's really going to freak people out, right? We need something that's really going to shake people out. Come on, Bitcoin. She's trying to get a pump here. She's trying to get a pump. We got 15 minutes until Jerome Powell comes out the dang closet with his bullish news. All right? Man, I'm feeling it, guys. I really am feeling it. I really am feeling it. I'm feeling it a lot. You guys feeling it? If you're feeling it, put a 1 in the chat. Let's see if we can't pump a little bit here. Oh no. We're rejecting from the VWAP. Crap. Here we go, baby. About to pump, baby. Here we go, here we go. Hey, yo, my man JP about to come out the closet. Will he cut rates or or will he pause it? Gonna have to wait to see, then we charge it. Like we're chewing the gum to just straws it. We turn around, back down to the ground. The Bitcoin price, my smile to a frown, because we were pumping up, then the candles turning blue. The Bitcoin price about to show you what she's gonna do, because we came to the chart. Let us take a peek. Does market cipher B have any uneven cheeks? We want big on the left, full of the juice, skinny on the right. Let me give you an excuse, cause we went to the diner and we saw Dolores. She said, Jay, you want some more of this? Price is coming down, then the price goes up. Got the uneven butt cheeks right in the cup. We got the coffee, the caffeine in my veins. Don't you know, Jay insane in the membrane. As we're pumping up, about to cross through the VWAP. Hopefully we then snap to the tippy tap. Price is going up, price is going down. Driving all around, got me feeling like a clown on the treadmill. Got the plunger in my hand, and we're driving through the car, going sand to the sand, from the east to the west. You know we do it best. Jason Casper in the gym, only trains arms and chest. Yeah, cause you know we're about to blast. Bitcoin price about to go so fast. And don't you know, if we break the resistance, JP comes out, we go the distance. Turn the key, hit the gas and all pistons. Next thing you know, I'm chilling with my friend Tristan. Uh-oh, we got the big dirty perp. The purple candle coming down just to give you herp. Yeah, make sure to use protection, cause the market makers like to change direction. Once you're long, then they about to go short. The market makers, if you're in a trade, you get hurt. You're looking like a pig and you know you gotta snort. We got the blue candle coming up, torque, oh we go. Then we rock it, then you sock it to the tippy top. About to blast it off into the next golden pocket. Like we rock it, then we sock it. You know we never drop it. Jay's such a white boy, man, you better stop it on the treadmill. Trading every day, coming to the charts just to get paid. I give it to you straight, you know I never give it gay. Oh my goodness, listen to what I say. Jerome Powell about to come out the closet. Will he cut rates, man, or will he pause it? We got the picture right here, we got the proof. Jerome Powell, he is no spoof. I talked to him on the Zoom call this morning. He said, Jason, I have to give you a big warning. I will come out of the closet, I will not pause it. I will pump the price and then you know we want to charge it, cause we right here with the VWAP, 10 minutes to go. Will we even hit the spot? Could we get a short squeeze? Coming up to 115, baby please, baby please. Yeah, do it again. Driving through the town in my new Mercedes Benz. I got it from the profits when I'm trading with my friend Ben. Don't you know that we trade with the trend? The trend is your friend until the end. Like we're doing it tonight with the Klein. Yeah, making up the words and I'm saying, and I'm just taking trades on the treadmill they be paying. Cause you know, I do it the same way every day. Coming to the charts just to get paid. I'm so dang serious, I never play. So dang hungry eating from the tray. Out in the garden digging with my fresh new spade. Cause you know I like to do it the same way today. Like I did it yesterday and the day before. It's so cray, like we're doing to snore at night. Man, this beat goes on for a long time, man. This beat goes on for a long time. All right, let's see. We got some super chats in the house. ENA, you get the coffee sweats. Is it bad or healthy? I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like it's your body like releasing adrenaline and endorphins. Okay, look at this, guys. We're reclaiming the VWAP. You know what? Like I promised myself I would take some profit if we reclaim the VWAP, so I'm gonna have to do it. All right, taking little profits from the short trade. All right, now we've still got the long trade open. By the way, guys, the short trade, I let the community know when I was taking the short trade, all right, on August 14th. All right, this ain't no hindsight analysis. I'm taking a short here. All right, also, the long trade, given this morning in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, when I told everybody I'm long. All right, not very probable, but it's low risk, low probability. We hit that single print to the dang dollar, and we hit our TP1 at the VWAP. All right, that's how we roll in the Casper Crew, man. In the Casper Crew, You know what I'm saying? We don't mess around. We don't mess around. We don't mess around. That's the thing. See, you pay a lot of money in other Discords. They give you a chart, right? We give you the charts. We give you our plans. But we don't mess around, right? Setup given in advance. Entry posted when I took the trade, right? Updates along the way. All right? That's how we roll in the Casper Crew. Now let's see what happens here. We're making a lower high so far. I have to still expect more dumpage, guys. I'll be honest with you. I still have to expect more dumpage. If we continue to pump here, where are we probably going to go? Our first target is going to be 113.5. All right, that's going to be our first target right up here. Our second target is going to be the top of the range up here at around 115-ish. We have a lot of confluences there. For example, we take the Fibonacci golden packet from the high to the low. That's where we got our 786. From this high to low, that's where we got our 681. 618. All right, in Espanol. All right, so let's see what happens here, man. We got 7 minutes until Jerome Powell comes out the dang closet. By the way, guys, make sure to sign up to KCEX using the link in the description, because we are going to be giving away $1,000 of trading money on KCEX. All right, KCEX, we're going to be giving away $1,000 today. 10 people are going to win $100 to trade with. All right, you can trade with it. You can't withdraw it. You can trade with it, but you don't have to deposit anything to get it. You just have to sign up. So it's free money, free trading money here. All right, Jerome Powell. Now, is there going to be an actual Federal Reserve video today? You know, is there going to be one? We're going to have to search for that. All right, as we're chopping around VWAP, waiting for Jerome Powell, man, this is going to be big. This is going to be big. Let me figure out something here. Jerome Powell speech today, televised, question mark, enter. Yes. You can see it on YouTube. On YouTube. Okay. Never heard of that website before. All right, looks like it's gonna be good to go. All right, we're gonna get this thing ready. Let's get it ready. All right, we're gonna get this thing ready here. Guys, make sure to sign up to KCEX if you like free money, man. It's gonna be a good time. You like free money? Sign up to KCEX. Sounds bad, I know, but let's see. Jerome Powell. This is, I think, where it's going to be. I could be wrong. All right. All right. Here we go. A little bit of a big dirty perp. Yeah, you like free money, sign up to KCEX. Bitcoin price, what she gonna do next? Are we gonna go up or we gonna dump? Bitcoin price looking like Donald Trump. Reminds me of the time running from the cops. Trading and driving, I just couldn't stop. Addicted to the charts, I got them on my heart. I'm trading and I'm driving, man, it's not very smart, cause the price comes up. CDW, then we get the reverse of what she gonna do. Yeah, I'm driving and I'm going real fast. Take my eyes off the road, oh, we almost crashed. 95 in the 25 zone, get charged with manslaughter, ain't going home. Cause you know they about to put me in the jail. Jason Casper so stupid, man, belong in the pail. Cause the cops chasing me. They said, Jason, what's it gonna be? You gotta pick one, trading or family. I said, hey, yo, officer, I just can't help it, let me be. But yeah, he says, walk the line. I'm drunk on the candles, officer, I need time. I can't walk straight, so frustrated, cause the charts coming up, making me hate this. Yeah, come back to the charts. Purple candle looking like she wants to fart. She's gonna fart, she's gonna dump. Bitcoin price looking orange just like Donald Trump. Are we gonna go sideways in a slump? Maybe we will go right up and then we pump, cause we know next time that we break through the resistance, the Bitcoin price will pump and then baby we go the distance. Cause you know, we're firing on all pistons. Just to the top, you know you wanna kiss this. But then we just can't stop. JP, and the price is gonna pop, and then we rock it. Don't you ever sock it, tippy top it, drop it. We pump to the next golden pocket, stop it. We turn around and then we rock it like we're clocking. Just like we're outside and then we're talking to each other. Hey, what's it gonna be? Jerome Powell, baby, listen to me. I had a discussion with him the other day. Dovish or hawkish, what would you say? He said, Jay, about to pump the dang price, slash the interest rates, and it's not very nice, cause it makes inflation go up. It's okay, it pumps our bags like a cup of coffee. We got it in our veins, it's driving me insane. Jason Casper, don't you know he's taking all the trades? Me and JP got a special relationship. Look at those eyes, looking like a... Oh no, the beat's over. Okay. Alright, here we go, guys. It's almost time. We gotta look at ENA. Man, ENA at a time like this? ENA at a time like this? Alright. You guys are weird, honestly, with all your altcoins, man. You guys are weird with all the altcoins. Alright, we got 2 minutes until Jerome Powell here. Yeah, it's game day in the Casper Crew, man. It's game day in the Casper Crew. Alright, look, it's not loading right now. That's a sign. It's a sign that we really need to focus on what is happening with the oh wait, here we go, it's loading. But really, we do need to focus on this Jerome Powell thing.
Because of what we went through the last time, so the Fed can react. And in the current framework, and I assume this will stay in the future framework.
All right, let's see. Let's see what we got going on here. All right, ENA. I can't believe we're looking at ENA at a time like this, man. All right, let's take a quick look at ENA. We got 1 minute until JP, man. So it's gonna be a 1 minute analysis here. What can we say about ENA? Well, we broke out of this. Looks kind of bullish. We hit the target of it, actually. I don't even know if we could consider this a trend line. But money flow crossing the weekly is very bullish. All right, money flow crossing the weekly is very bullish. Daily looks very bullish to me right now. The daily looks extremely bullish. Like we're about to print a nice juicy trigger wave with increased money flow. It looks very bullish. We've broken out of the horizontal support resistance flip here. Right? We can see if we take this and just move it up a little bit. We've broken out, we've gotten a back test. It does look bullish, all right? Whoa! Oh my goodness! What in the world? Oh my goodness, guys. Hang on. Bitcoin is pumping like a wild woman right now. Is Jerome Powell speaking yet? Hang on. Oh my goodness! It's a good thing I took profits on that short, man. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! This is insane! Man! This is insane! Oh my goodness! Where is Jerome Powell, man? Is he speaking yet? This has to lead to a dump, man. This has to lead to a dump. I mean, look, we could really easily just get a chicken drink water here At these highs, take the highs. Oh my goodness. Yeah, if it's pumping like this, guys, it is gonna dump hard soon. All right, seriously, maybe we come up to around 115-ish. All right, we've got weekly VWAP around 114. 114 is gonna be super key. All right, 114 is gonna be super key. Oh my goodness, man, that came out of nowhere. That came out of nowhere. Jerome Powell hasn't spoken yet.
One-time price adjustments within each sector. So it's likely that inflation is going to go up, but then they think it stabilizes and might go down again.
Well, right now, let's take a listen to Jay Powell.
Okay, here he is.
Federal Reserve.
Okay, here he is.
In my remarks today, I will first address the current economic situation and the near-term outlook for monetary policy. I will then turn to the results of our second public review of our monetary policy framework as captured in the revised Statement on Longer-Run Goals and Monetary Policy Strategy that we released today. When I appeared at this podium 1 year ago, the economy was at an inflection point. Our policy rate had stood at 5.25% to 5.5% for more than a year. That restrictive policy stance was appropriate to help bring down inflation and to foster a sustainable balance between aggregate demand and supply. Inflation had moved much closer to our objective, and the labor market had cooled from its formerly overheated state. Upside risks to inflation had diminished, but the unemployment rate had increased by almost a full percentage point, a development that historically has not occurred outside of recessions. Over the subsequent 3 Federal Open Market Committee meetings, we recalibrated our policy stance, setting the stage for the labor market to remain in balance near maximum employment over the past year. This year, the economy has faced new challenges. Significantly higher tariffs across our trading partners are remaking the global trading system. Tighter immigration policy has led to an abrupt slowdown in labor force growth. Over the longer run, changes in tax, spending, and regulatory policies may also have important implications for economic growth and productivity. There is significant uncertainty about where all of these policies will eventually settle and what their lasting effects on the economy will be. Changes in trade and immigration policies are affecting both demand and supply. In this environment, distinguishing cyclical developments from trend or structural developments is difficult. This distinction is critical because monetary policy can work to stabilize cyclical fluctuations, but can do little to alter structural changes. The labor market is a case in point. The July employment report, released earlier this month, showed that payroll job growth slowed to an average pace of only 35,000 per month over the past 3 months, down from 168,000 per month during 2024. This slowdown is much larger than assessed just a month ago, as the earlier figures for May and June were revised down substantially. But it does not appear that the slowdown in job growth has opened up a large margin of slack in the labor market, an outcome we want to avoid. The unemployment rate, while edging up in July, stands at a historically low level of 4.2% and has been broadly stable over the past year. Other indicators of labor market conditions are also little changed or have softened only modestly, including quits, layoffs, the ratio of vacancies to unemployment, and nominal wage growth. Labor supply has softened in line with demand, sharply lowering the break-even rate of job creation needed to hold the unemployment rate constant. Indeed, labor force growth has slowed considerably this year with the sharp fall-off in immigration, and the labor force participation rate has edged down in recent months. Overall, while the labor market appears to be in balance, it is a curious kind of balance that results from a marked slowing in both the supply of and demand for workers. This unusual situation suggests that downside risks to employment are rising. And if those risks materialize, they can do so quickly in the form of sharply higher layoffs and rising unemployment. At the same time, GDP growth has slowed notably in the first half of this year to a pace of 1.2%, roughly half the 2.5% pace in 2024. The decline in growth has largely reflected a slowdown in consumer spending. as with the labor market, some of the slowing in GDP likely reflects slower growth of supply or potential output. Turning to inflation, higher tariffs have begun to push up prices in some categories of goods. Estimates based on the latest available data indicate that total PCE prices rose 2.6% over the 12 months ending in July. Excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 2.9%, above their level of a year ago. Within core, prices of goods increased 1.1% over the past 12 months, a notable shift from the modest decline seen over the course of 2024. In contrast, housing services inflation remains on a downward trend, and non-housing services inflation is still running at a level a bit above what has been historically consistent with a 2% inflation. The effects of tariffs on consumer prices are now clearly visible. We expect those effects to accumulate over coming months with high uncertainty about both timing and amounts. The question that matters for monetary policy is whether these price increases are likely to materially raise the risk of an ongoing inflation problem. A reasonable base case is that the effects will be relatively short-lived, a one-time shift in the price level. Of course, one time does not mean all at once. It will continue to take time for tariff increases to work their way through supply chains and distribution networks. Moreover, tariff rates continue to evolve, potentially prolonging the adjustment process. It's also possible, however, that the upward pressure on prices from tariffs could spur a more lasting inflation dynamic, and that is a risk to be assessed and managed. One possibility is that workers who see their real incomes decline because of higher prices demand and get higher wages from employers, setting off adverse wage price dynamics. Given that the labor market is not particularly tight and faces increasing downside risks, that outcome does not seem likely. Another possibility is that inflation expectations could move up, dragging actual inflation with them. Inflation has been above our target for more than 4 years and remains a prominent concern for households and businesses. Measures of longer-term inflation expectations, however, as reflected in market and survey-based measures, appear to remain well anchored and consistent with our longer-run inflation objective of 2%. Of course, we cannot take the stability of inflation expectations for granted. Come what may, we will not allow a one-time increase in the price level to become an ongoing inflation problem. So, putting the pieces together, what are the implications for monetary policy? In the near term, risks to inflation are tilted to the upside and risks to employment to the downside, a challenging situation. When our goals are in tension like this, our framework calls for us to balance both sides of our dual mandate. Our policy rate is now 100 basis points closer to neutral than it was a year ago, and the stability of the unemployment rate and other labor market measures allows us to proceed carefully as we consider changes to our policy stance. Nonetheless, with policy in restrictive territory, the baseline outlook and the shifting balance of risks may warrant adjusting our policy stance. Monetary policy is not on a preset course. FOMC members will make these decisions based solely on their assessment of the data and its implications for the economic outlook and the balance of risks. We will never deviate from that approach. So, turning then to my second topic. Our monetary policy framework is built on the unchanging foundation of our mandate from Congress to foster maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. We remain fully committed to fulfilling our statutory mandate, and the revisions to our framework will support that mission across a broad range of economic conditions. Our revised statement on longer-run goals and monetary policy strategy, which we refer to as our consensus statement to save time, describes how we pursue our dual mandate goals. It is designed to give the public a clear sense of how we think about monetary policy, and that understanding is important both for transparency and accountability, and for making monetary policy more effective. The changes we made in this review are a natural progression grounded in our ever-evolving understanding of our economy. We continue to build upon the initial consensus statement adopted in 2012 under Chairman Ben Bernanke's leadership. Today's revised statement is the outcome of the second public review of our framework, which we conduct at 5-year intervals. This year's review included 3 elements: Fed Listens events at reserve banks around the country, a flagship research conference, and policymaker discussions and deliberations supported by staff analysis at a series of FOMC meetings. In approaching this year's review, a key objective has been to make sure that our framework is suitable across a broad range of economic conditions. At the same time, the framework needs to evolve with changes in the structure of the economy and our understanding of those changes. The Great Depression presented different challenges from those of the Great Inflation and the Great Moderation, which in turn are different from the ones we face today. At the time of the last review, we were living in a new normal, characterized by the proximity of interest rates to the effective lower bound, or ELB, along with low growth, low inflation, and a very flat Phillips curve, meaning that inflation was not very responsive to slack in the economy. To me, a statistic that captures that era is that our policy rate was stuck at the ELB for 7 long years following the onset of the global financial crisis in late 2008. Many here will recall the sluggish growth and painfully slow recovery of that era. It appeared highly likely that if the economy experienced even a mild downturn, our policy rate would be back at the ELB very quickly, probably for another extended period. Inflation and inflation expectations could then decline in a weak economy, raising real interest rates as nominal rates were pinned near zero. Higher real rates would further weigh on job growth and reinforce the downward pressure on inflation and inflation expectations, triggering an adverse dynamic. The economic conditions that brought the policy rate to the ELB and drove the 2020 framework changes were thought to be rooted in slow-moving global factors that would persist for an extended period. And they might well have done so, if not for the pandemic. The 2020 consensus statement included several features that addressed the ELB-related risks that had become increasingly prominent over the preceding 2 decades. We emphasized the importance of anchored inflation, longer-term inflation expectations to support both our price stability and maximum employment goals. Drawing on an extensive literature on strategies to mitigate risks associated with the ELB, we adopted flexible average inflation targeting, a make-up strategy to ensure that inflation expectations would remain well anchored, even with the ELB constraint. In particular, we said that following periods when inflation had been running persistently above 2%, appropriate monetary policy would likely aim to achieve inflation moderately above 2% for some time. In the event, rather than low inflation in the ELB, the post-pandemic reopening brought the highest inflation in 40 years to economies around the world. Like most other central banks and private sector analysts, through year-end 2021, we thought that inflation would subside fairly quickly without a sharp tightening in our policy stance, as this slide will show. When it became clear this was not the case, we responded forcefully, raising our policy rate by 5.25 percentage points over 16 months. That action, combined with the unwinding of pandemic supply disruptions, contributed to inflation moving much closer to our target without the painful rise in unemployment that has accompanied previous efforts to counter high inflation. This year's review considered how economic conditions have evolved over the past 5 years. During this period, we saw that the inflation situation can change rapidly in the face of large shocks. In addition, interest rates are now substantially higher than was the case during the era between the global financial crisis and the pandemic. With inflation above target, our policy rate is restrictive, modestly so in my view. We cannot say for certain where rates will settle out over the longer run, but their neutral rate may now be higher than during the 2010s, reflecting changes in productivity, demographics, fiscal policy, and other factors that affect the balance between saving and investment. During the review, we discussed how the 2020 statement's focus on the ELB may have complicated communications about our response to high inflation. We concluded that the emphasis on an overly specific set of economic conditions may have led to some confusion, and as a result, we made several important changes to the consensus statement to reflect that insight. First, we removed language indicating that the ELB was a defining feature of the economic landscape. Instead, We noted that our monetary policy strategy is designed to promote maximum employment and stable prices across a broad range of economic conditions. The difficulty of operating near the ELB remains a potential concern, but it is not our primary focus. The revised statement reiterates that the committee is prepared to use its full range of tools to achieve its maximum employment and price stability goals, particularly if the federal funds rate is constrained by the ELB. Second, we returned to a framework of flexible inflation targeting and eliminated the makeup strategy. As it turned out, the idea of an intentional moderate inflation overshoot had proved irrelevant. There was nothing intentional or moderate about the inflation that arrived a few months after we announced our 2020 changes to the consensus statement, as I acknowledged publicly in 2021. Well-anchored inflation expectations were critical to our success in bringing down inflation without a sharp increase in unemployment. Anchored expectations promote the return of inflation to target when adverse shocks drive inflation higher and limit the risk of deflation when the economy weakens. Further, they allow monetary policy to support maximum employment in economic downturns without compromising price stability. Our revised statement emphasizes our commitment to act forcefully to ensure that longer-term inflation expectations remain well anchored to the benefit of both sides of our dual mandate. It also notes that price stability is essential for a sound and stable economy and supports the well-being of all Americans. This theme came through loud and clear at our Fed Listens events. The past 5 years have been a painful reminder of the hardship that high inflation imposes, especially on those least able to meet the higher costs of necessities. Third, our 2020 statement said that we would mitigate shortfalls rather than deviations from maximum employment. The use of shortfalls reflected the insight that our real-time assessments of the natural rate of unemployment, and hence of maximum employment, are highly uncertain. The later years of the post-global financial crisis recovery featured employment running for an extended period above mainstream estimates of its sustainable level, along with inflation running persistently below our 2% target. In the absence of inflationary pressures, it might not be necessary to tighten policy based solely on uncertain real-time estimates of the natural rate of unemployment. We still have that view, but our use of the term shortfalls was not always interpreted as intended, raising communications challenges. In particular, the use of shortfalls was not intended as a commitment to permanently forswear preemption or to ignore labor market tightness. Accordingly, we removed shortfalls from our statement. Instead, the revised document now states more precisely that the committee recognizes that employment may run at times above real-time assessments of maximum employment without necessarily creating risks to price stability. Of course, preemptive action would likely be warranted if tightness in the labor market or other factors pose risks to price stability. The revised statement also notes that maximum employment is the highest level of employment that can be achieved on a sustained basis in a context of price stability. This focus on promoting a strong labor market underscores the principle that durably achieving maximum employment fosters broad-based economic opportunities and benefits for all Americans. The feedback we received at Fed Listens events reinforced the value of a strong labor market for American households, employers, and communities. Fourth, consistent with the removal of shortfalls, we made changes to clarify our approach in periods where our employment and inflation objectives are not complementary. In those circumstances, we will follow a balanced approach in promoting them. The revised statement now more closely aligns with the original 2012 language. We take into account the extent of departures from our goals and the potentially different time horizons over which each is projected to return to a level consistent with our dual mandate. These principles guide our policy decisions today, as they did in the 2022 to 24 period, when the departure from our 2% inflation target was the overriding concern. In addition to these changes, there is a great deal of continuity with past statements. The document continues to explain how we interpret the mandate Congress has given us and describes the policy framework that we believe will best promote maximum employment and price stability. We continue to believe that monetary policy must be forward-looking and consider the lags in its effects on the economy. For this reason, our policy actions depend on the economic outlook and the balance of risks to that outlook. We continue to believe that setting a numerical goal for employment is unwise because the maximum level of employment is not directly measurable and changes over time for reasons unrelated to monetary policy. We also continue to view a longer-run inflation rate of 2% as most consistent with our dual mandate goals. We believe that our commitment to this target is a key factor, helping keep longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Experience has shown that 2% inflation is low enough to ensure that inflation is not a concern in household and business decision-making, while also providing a central bank with some policy flexibility to provide accommodation during economic downturns. Finally, the revised consensus statement retained our commitment to conduct a public review roughly every 5 years. There's nothing magic about the 5-year pace. That frequency allows policymakers to reassess structural features of the economy and to engage with the public, practitioners, and academics on the performance of our framework. It is also consistent with several global peers. To wrap up, I want to thank President Schmid and all of his great Kansas City staff who work so diligently to host this outstanding event annually, counting a couple of virtual appearances during the pandemic. This is the 8th time I've had the honor to speak from this podium. Each year, this symposium offers the opportunity for Fed leaders to hear ideas from leading economic thinkers and focus on the challenges we face. The Kansas City Fed was very wise to lure Chair Volcker here to this national park more than 40 years ago, and I am so proud to be part of that tradition. Thank you very much.
That was Fed Chair Jerome Powell wrapping up his annual Jackson Hole remarks. What a Jackson Hole speech that was. This is Bloomberg Surveillance on television and radio, live from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. What we heard there is they are prepared to move rates lower on the heels of their dual mandate being in conflict. We see a market reaction. We could see 10-year yields.
All right, y'all. So, I mean, basically, that's bullish news, all right? He's expecting to cut rates. And I think we could have a very bullish next few weeks here, all right? I'm not saying we're going to go straight up. Obviously, we might get some pullbacks here, but, man, we might see a very bullish, by the rumor, pump Bitcoin all-time high into September 17th, all right? So that is quite interesting, and I am interested right now and seeing if there's been any change here. I don't know how quick it happens, but let's see. Man, oh man. Look at how the sentiment has changed in such a short period of time, man. That is wild. Okay, so now people are very confident that the rates are going to get cut. All right, people are very confident that the rates are going to get cut. And Bitcoin, what a crazy move, honestly, guys. What a crazy move. I was not expecting this, man. I was not expecting this. All right. This is a huge pump. This is crazy. All right. This trade setup given in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. All right. We bounced from a single print. I thought it was going to be. Just a scalp. But this thing could honestly turn into a swing. Can you imagine if it turns into a swing trade? Man, I'm glad I took profits on that short trade in the beginning of the stream. Thank you guys for helping me do the right thing. Look, I shorted 115K, took a little loss on that as well just now because 115K is a very key make it or break it zone. The fact that we're above 115K right now, as long as we're holding above this white line, guys, let's pop on over to our chart and let's just like look at this thing objectively here. We are above key local resistance right now, and the daily time frame is looking like it's printing a bullish divergence, and our next resistance, if we're holding above $115,000. Our next major resistance is going to be around $119,000, $120,000. That's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, we're talking like, I know you guys can't see the chart here. But let's pop on the chart.
Holistic view. Is this
crap.
ginormous? That's a fancy.
You guys couldn't hear a word I said, could you?
Enormous investment that we're seeing in AI.
You guys probably couldn't hear a word I said.
This summer, are they at risk given the tumult?
Well, I mean, Tommy, point out something. The market's been really crowded.
Hang on, let's turn off the volume here.
Crowded around these secular themes, and for good reason, right? These companies are putting.
All right. So yeah, here's the deal, man. That 115K, that's pretty important. And you know, we're holding above 115K. We're going to come up to our 119 to 120 zone here. All right. So it's going to be pretty important to see what happens here as we come through the front door. The front door meaning the value area low of the range. All right. Let's get our music back on here. Oh my goodness, guys. What a crazy move that was. What a crazy move. I can't even believe that. You know? Can't even believe that. All right. Whew, man. That was wild, man. That was an unexpected move. I was expecting we were going to get a bit of a pump and dump. Let's check out our low time frames here. You know, man, it's looking ambiguous. I'll be honest with you. It's looking ambiguous. All right. It's looking a little ambiguous. As long as we maintain above this, guys, I'm going to be feeling bullish. We lose this white line, and I think a short trade could be. I would have to take another. Man. But because we do have some bear divs, money flow coming lower here. But for right now, holding above 114.8. That's pretty bullish, man. Oh my goodness. I was not expecting this trade to pump so much. If I had, I wouldn't have take profit one so early. You know what's so funny? Look at my take profit one here on this long trade. I closed at not even a $1,000 move. Sheesh. But at the time, man, that was a really good risk to reward ratio. That was like a 6-to-1 risk reward. Whew, man. Exhilarating. Truly exhilarating, man. This is nuts. This is newts. This is wild. Newts and wild. Oh, man. What do you guys think in the chat? What do you guys think in the chat? Massive short squeeze, that's all? Yeah, but this could, if we get some buyers stepping in, this could turn into some stuff. We rejected from value area low, says FitGenius618. That is true. That is true. Do I think it's going to dump now? For me, it really depends on what happens at the white line here, guys. If we hold this white line, then I think we pump. If we lose the white line, I think we dump. All right? It's that simple. It really is that simple for me. We've got a very clear line in the sand here. Okay? Got a very clear line in the sand. We lose this white line, and we could really dump. Let's check the order flow. Yeah, we don't really have too much happening here. Interestingly enough, though, we had about 12 million shorts try to short here. And they got squeezed immediately, basically. So that's actually kind of a good sign. So interesting, man. So interesting. Talk about what a move, man. What a move. What a move. Oh, my goodness. 2K pump after 10K dump. Yeah, but this pump is a little bit different than the dump because the dump has been slow and painful and steady. But this This pump has been quick and fast. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Man. This has been nuts, bro. That's all I can say. All right. All right. All right. What do you say we give away some money? What do you say we give away some money here? Put a 1 in the chat if you want some money. We're going to do some giveaways right now. We're going to be giving away $1,000 courtesy of KCEX, the exchange. All right. All you have to do is sign up using my link. You don't have to deposit anything. And then take your user ID number. That's what we're going to use in order to get our winners. The user ID number. Okay. So what I need you guys to do is sign up to KCEX using my link. All right, go ahead and take your user ID number. And I'm going to have you guys be spamming the chat with it. All right? You're going to spam the live chat, the YouTube live chat with your user ID number from KCEX. All right? From KCEX. All right? And what we're going to do is I'm going to count down from 10. And the first 10 people who I see your user ID number, you win $100. All right? It'll go airdropped right to your account. Now, here's the thing. There's some rules here. You got to follow the rules. All right? Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Okay? Pay attention. Here's the rules. When you're posting your user ID number, it needs to be only your user ID number. All right? It's not going to be a whole bunch of emojis in there. Nothing except your user ID number. Okay? Nothing except the user ID number. Nothing except the user ID number. Okay? You guys understand? You guys understand? So we're going to give it a minute or so. And then I want you guys to spam the chat with your user ID number from KCEX. All right, it has to be, you have to use my link, otherwise you're not going to get the money, all right? You have to sign up using my link in the description. You don't have to deposit anything, just create an account. All right, we're going to give away $1,000 of KCEX money. 10 people are going to get $100 to trade with. All right? So I want you to be posting your dang stuff in there. All right, let me just make sure the link works. Someone said the link is broken. I don't think it's broken. I don't think it's broken here. Let me see if the link is broken. Nah, it's not broken. Link works. Alright, cool. Cool, link works. Alright. Chain link works. Chain link works. Alright, we're gonna do a countdown from 10. And then the first 10 user ID numbers get our 1,000. Get our $100 each, okay? All right, you guys ready? You guys ready? And look, we're gonna be doing more of these, so relax, relax. We're gonna be doing more of these. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, so we have our, I'm going to just show you guys the proof here of who starts our thing. So it's Duke Alitz. All right, Duke Alitz is our first winner. So we're going to take Duke Alitz as our first winner here. And we got, well, hang on. Where's Duke Alitz? Right there. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we got those 5. I'm going to copy them and paste them here. All right, we got those 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we got our 10 winners. Congratulations, guys. You're going to be receiving an airdrop from KCEX. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, man. Look at the Bitcoin price go, baby. Look at the Bitcoin price go, baby. Man, this is amazing. All right, guys. I'm going to head out. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell. God bless everybody in Jesus' name. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Maybe super blessed. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.